Hello, I'm Joe. Welcome to JKEV. It's time for another car review. Today we have the 2022 Tesla Model 3. So today we're taking a look at the 2022 Tesla Model 3 standard range. This is the rear-wheel drive, smaller battery. This in most cases is the perfect daily driver, in my opinion. I'm actually looking at considering getting one to replace our Kia Niro that we currently have. So I'll give some quick facts about the whole Tesla Model 3 lineup. So there's three models available. There's the single motor rear-wheel drive small battery. That's 272 miles of rated range, 5.8 seconds to 60. Then you can upgrade to the long range, which is 358 EPA miles. Pretty impressive. 4.2 seconds to 60. And then there's the performance, the spicy model, 315 miles of rated range and 3.1 seconds 0 to 60. Quite impressive. Pricing for these models starts at $45,000. This is currently, we're in February of 2022. $45,000 for the model pictured right here in white. It's $1,000 more for paint, except red is $2,000. $1,000 if you want the white interior. And then so if you upgrade to the performance model, that's $59,000. And the all-wheel drive long-range model is right in the middle, right at about currently at this time of this filming, $55,000. But that's subject to change. A lot of people are quick to complain about the way Tesla does their pricing. Quite frankly, every car brand does the same kind of business model. Just Tesla changes the MSRP every couple of weeks or month or so. If you take like a standard Chevy car, like a Chevy Bolt, for example, you know, the MSRP might be $35,000, and they don't change the MSRP other than maybe with a new model year, but they'll change the incentives. So maybe one month it's $6,000 off. The next month, it's only $5,000 off. They really did the same thing that Tesla's doing here. Tesla's just changing the MSRP on their website, so a little bit different, but it's the same kind of concept happening. The biggest highlights of the Tesla is getting its infotainment, its technology. So the 15-inch infotainment in the middle holds everything that the car can do. That's kind of the pièce de résistance of buying the Tesla. You know, it may not be the best build quality. It may have some other. It may be a little bit flawed, like every car, quite frankly, is, but the technology is certainly top-notch. And that starts all with the charging right back here. So with all Teslas, charge port is in the back, plug it in right there, and 250 kilowatt charging out of the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y for that matter. And what that allows is a 10% to 80% charge in just 30 minutes and 175 miles of rated range in just 15 minutes. Pretty impressive. So these are the base 18-inch rims. These are the Aero wheels. These will maximize your range. You can pay $1,500 to upgrade to 19-inch, kind of more of sport rim. And then with the performance is the 20-inch Uber turbine wheels. Let's go take a look at the boot and see what kind of space we have back here. So it is a power trunk on the Model 3 now. It didn't used to be that way. It's a new feature that's been added. I think they added it in 2020 or 2021, but it's very convenient. So this button right here will open, or in this case, close the trunk. Here's the charging cable that comes with the Model 3 and Model Y for that matter. What's nice is this plug right here will plug in there. That's your standard house outlet, but you can find tons of adapters on the Tesla website to match whatever high voltage power you might be able to have at home, such as a dryer outlet, etc. And then here's the adapter. This is what you would use to plug into a J1772. This is the kind of charging cable frequently found at like your local grocery store. Then, as we saw with the Model Y, the Tesla is very good at using space. And since there's no fuel tank, a ton of storage space down there. So you really get a lot more storage space than your average sedan would be, which is why this really is a great road trip machine, even though it's just a sedan. Now let's go look at the storage up front. So I touch the button in the infotainment and it just opens up. There's no latch here or anything I have to press to open it up, so it's really convenient. Not as deep as the Model Y, of course, because it's a lower hood, but same rules apply. You can fit your charging cables and stuff like that up there. That's what I like to put in the front, is so I don't have to dig in the back to find a charging cable. It's all just up here, and if it's dirty, this is a nice, easy place to clean out. It's not too difficult. So this is Tesla's styling. Love it or hate it. It is just a flat front end. No doubt that whenever you see a vehicle with a front end like this, you know it's a Tesla. I wish they would have done a little more to make it give a little more character, like a traditional car or something like that, or some sort of faux styling like the Mustang Mach-E does. But no matter how you look at it, this is the way Tesla went, and it's done pretty well for them as it's been a huge sales success. Model 3 is kind of what really made the company take off. One downside is with this flat front end like that, it certainly does catch a bunch of rocks. So I certainly recommend paint protection film, or you'll have a lot of rock chips on the front of your Model 3. Now let's go see. The front seat is in its position. For me, I'm 6'3". Let's see if I can fit behind myself. And surprisingly, actually, I do. What's nice is I can fit my feet underneath the seat. So I can actually comfortably sit back here. It is a plastic back, so it's a little rough on the knees. I do have headroom, kind of close. If I put my head all the way back, I cannot use the headrest. But if I sit forward like this, I could sit here for, an hour or two on a small getaway trip, or certainly to go out and get lunch, but I wouldn't want to be stuck back here too long. Also, Tesla, like a couple other brands, accept the future and USB-C chargers in the back. Big thumbs up for that. So similar to the Model Y, we'll link that video up above as well. Everything is just through the central touchscreen. It's identical. So here's my mirrors. I can quickly adjust them up and to the side or wherever I want. I can move over to the right mirror and do the same thing. Move it up where I'd like. Now I can come back to the steering wheel, move this up a little bit or down, and move it out to me a little bit. Pretty cool. It's a neat little feature, and of course, it saves it all to the driver settings. So once you set it up once, every time you get in the car with your phone, it'll move everything to where you'd like it to be and kind of have all your settings set up. One of the highlights of Tesla is its navigation. So let's go do a quick test right here. And let's say we want to go to Las Vegas. We're going to Las Vegas in a couple months here on a big EV road trip in our Volkswagen ID4. This is literally the top reason to buy a Tesla. It just makes things easy. So right now, I put in Las Vegas. It's calculating the trip, finding the supercharger. It's going to finding all the superchargers. It's going to optimize the trip for where we should charge, how long we should charge at each location, to ensure that we never get stranded on the side of the road. It's really an impressive system, and I hope that more automakers start to implement trip planning and put a higher amount of dedication into creating a better trip planning in each of their infotainments. That's kind of one of the biggest flaws of our Volkswagen is we have to use phone apps to navigate anywhere on a road trip because it just doesn't do it like this. See right here, it says in an hour and a half we'll be in Rockford, Illinois. We'd go to that charger and we'll charge there for 35 minutes, which will get us, so we'll arrive there with 42%, charge for 35 minutes, then move on to the next one. It has all these chargers set up for us the whole way to Las Vegas. It's a really good system for that. So then here I can also go to, I believe it is at a trip? No, it is at a stop. There we go, charging. So look at this. All the superchargers are right here. Map's kind of twisted a little bit. But I can zoom in on any of them and see it even shows us, so when we get to Rockford, that's 5 of the chargers are available right now. So I can click on that charger. It'll show us there's 8 stalls. 5 of them are available. And what the pricing will be for us to charge there. It's just a really good setup. And then it even has searching for the cafes in the area. So I can click on what I'd like to see at that supercharger. Sorry. So it shows the amenities that are at that supercharger, such as Wi-Fi, food, etc. With the one of the other interesting quirks about the Tesla, because everything is in the screen, to move my air around, I have to kind of pinch and zoom on where I'd like the air to come out. One nice feature though is that it saves that to my settings. So once I set it once, every time I get in the car, it'll have the air blowing on me the way I'd prefer it to. Let's put some heated seat on in here too. Heated steering wheel is roasty toasty. And then over here we have another great feature I like, dog mode and camp mode. Really convenient for if you have your dog in the car, you need to run in the store for a couple minutes, put it in dog mode. It'll hold the temperature for the vehicle. We can even put it on right here so it shows. And this will notify people from the outside that look through. It'll have a big icon on the screen that shows dog mode is enabled, what the temperature is inside, so nobody breaks your window because your dog's in there. Then there's a camp mode here, which is really convenient. So if I want to, I have a road trip coming up here soon, and if I want to sleep in the back of the car, it can run the climate control all night long to keep me at my desired temperature. As you can see, it's a balmy 13 degrees out here in Wisconsin today, so these are not the ideal filming conditions, but it's what we have to deal with. Christina loves it, right?
Oh, I love it so much.
One of these other features that's nice is the consumption. This shows you how you did for the last 5, 15, or 30 miles, and it'll have a projected range here. And you see this projected range, 197 miles, is different than the 237 miles of EPA range. So it helps you better understand in the current conditions how your driving is affecting your range. Here's the this button will enable the cameras. There's also a trip. So if I set up that trip back to Las Vegas, I can try to do that real quick. Come on. There we go. Might take a second for it to populate back up. There we go. So now I can go to trip, and it'll calculate the energy that we will use to get to Rockford. So you can keep managing, okay, we're going to arrive with 41% in Rockford, and, you know, as we drive, if we're driving a little too fast or we're using a lot of energy due to wind or heating the cabin and stuff, you'll see this kind of drop or rise, and so we can always make sure that we're never going to arrive with 0 or not make it at all to our destination. So we're just really good at, like I said, that's where the tech is the big win for Tesla. But now let's go take it out on the road and see how it performs. So first thing you'll notice when driving the Model 3, there is no instrument cluster. You know, everything's kind of put into the screen. I can verify from driving multiple Teslas, it is not that difficult. Oh, you might have seen as I put on my turn signal, it puts up the camera right there, super convenient. And the best part of a Tesla is the go pedal. So even in the standard range plus, just the base model, it still has some serious get up and go. It's you have to get behind the wheel to truly experience it. One thing I'm also noticing, and probably has to do with the smaller battery, this doesn't feel as bouncy as the Model Y did. It feels a little bit more comfortable. It could also just be these are the smaller rims, so I think there's a little more meat on the tires, and like I said, the lighter battery might help with keeping it less bouncy, but this does feel a little more comfortable as a daily driver, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One thing we mentioned kind of really for both cars, though, is it's a little bit unnecessarily stiff. It doesn't need to be that stiff of a suspension for just a daily around town car. You know, the performance model, go for it. Put it in the stiff suspension, but it'd be nice if the base model or long range models just had a little bit less bounciness to them. The air suspension that Tesla is talking about putting in the Model Y, that would be much welcomed. So you see here, everything is pretty simply laid out. So it shows the speed I'm doing right here, the max that if I put it into Autopilot, what speed it will do, and it shows the speed limit of the road we're on. It's honestly, you get used to it so quick you don't even realize that it's not right down below. I would be happy to see a heads-up display like Honda and Kia are putting in their electric cars right now, and actually the Mini Cooper SE has that as well. But check out these homes right here too. Mansions. But
wow,
that's the kind of garage you need. But yeah, everything is pretty simply laid out. I mean, you know, here's the car icon. You push that car icon, there's all the settings you need to change whatever you want, and it all saves to your profile. So every time you get in the car, it'll be set up the way that you would like it. Climate control right there, you know, very simple to get to. And like I said, there's the energy graph, consumption. You know, I think it's just very intuitively laid out. A lot of cars kind of really fall flat when it comes to infotainment. That's like the infotainment and charging, like technology is really Tesla's strong point. Where other car brands kind of win is in their build quality, or, you know, just having that feel of, it feels like a normal car at the end of the day. The Tesla does feel a little bit different, but some people really like that. Now we can hit this roundabout, put the tires to the test.
I definitely felt the punch more in the Model Y than in here.
Yeah, this with the smaller battery and single motor, there is a substantial power drop.
Yeah.
You know, the Model Y definitely has a lot more. If you got the dual motor, long range Model 3, that actually outperforms the Model Y. But it's kind of, either way, the performance in here still is everything you could want in a car. It's nothing above this is really ever needed. There's many people out there that have documented they buy the performance model, and then after a month or two of winning every single stoplight race ever, then they kind of just get bored with it. And most people that own Tesla Performances, if you go in their infotainment settings, they frequently drive in chill mode. That it's just much more relaxed driver experience.
You should show them the fun box.
Oh yeah, all the toy bits.
Yeah.
I think that's over here. You can show them. There you go.
All right, guys, look at this fun, interesting thing Tesla has. You have so many options here. So I like messing with the emissions, and then you can fart. Is the sound on? And you have a fart signal. That's awesome.
Yes, Tesla always wins in the gimmick category.
Yeah.
Whether that'll get old, I'm not sure. I in the ID4, there's many times I've had regrets that I wish I bought the Tesla because it'd be fun to have all these features. And then I look back and say, do I really need them? I really just need a car to get me from point A to point B. But I kind of go back and forth over what would be the best.
Yeah, a lot of these though have to be parked in order to work, which is important. Yeah, that available in park.
Yep.
So yeah, we could show you guys once we park a little bit better.
But yeah, there's a lot of these. I mean, you can do the tracks, I think. Oh, that's only available in park too.
Yeah.
Hey, nice to see that. I think that used to be available while driving. So props to Tesla for trying to increase safety a little bit by not letting people do this stuff while they're driving down the road.
Yeah. And then they have an arcade.
Yeah, the arcade is in park as well.
Yeah.
All these, so, some people might say the arcade or the theater is all of your Netflix and stuff like that. It's a little bit gimmicky, but at the same point, when you have to go stop and charge for 20 minutes, what better thing to do than throw on Hulu, put on an episode of Seinfeld, 20 minutes later, your car's ready to go. It really just assists with making it a better experience when you're road tripping. Or in the arcade situation of you can put the car in camp mode, and you can say Christina needs to run into the store and go pick something up. I can sit here and play a game. Yep, Christina's she didn't turn off the fart on turn signal mode. How wonderful. So now we will try to document some, where is that autopilot? Oh, there we go. Is that it? Navigate on autopilot. Yeah, that's all on. Okay, so now we will demonstrate the navigate on autopilot features. That's kind of really in my opinion, also one of the best reasons that Tesla kind of wins at. This is not going to get old. So, in the Tesla, to activate autopilot, you literally just tap that down twice. The car will automatically go to your preset settings, which in this case is 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. In the case here, we have a clear lane next to us, so I can go ahead and put on the turn signal there. And the car changed lanes perfectly and maintained autopilot. I just need to maintain a little bit of pressure here on the steering wheel, and that'll make the car aware that I'm here, I'm paying attention. But it really makes it a much more relaxing drive. I really like the lane change feature. That's something that I wish you didn't have to pay $12,000 for the Navigate on Autopilot, that we could just pay, maybe a couple $1,000s just to get that lane change feature. That's where it's a step above. Ford Blue Cruise, I believe, has lane changes. I know Hyundai Ioniq Drive Assist Level 2 has highway lane changes, but the Volkswagen Travel Assist does not yet. I know they talked about implementing that in Europe, but that is not.
I want to buy this just because of this feature.
She is going to drive me nuts.
Oh, good stuff.
That feature is not available for the Volkswagen ID4 yet. I don't know if that will come to all cars, that could be a feature that they choose to charge people to put in their cars. I don't know that I even would be upset about if they charged us. It'd just be nice if the option would be there, because it just does make highway road trips. We've done thousands of electric vehicle mile road trips, or thousands of miles in electric vehicles on road trips at this point, going all the way to Vegas, Death Valley, Lake Tahoe. Then we did the other trip up to Glacier, and you just really quickly pick up on what features would be nice to have in, you know, to make the drive a little bit easier. And the Tesla kind of really nails the road tripping aspect of that, just with camp mode, being able to sleep in the car, take a nap, and keep the climate control on. And then, of course, the lane change and autopilot, that stuff's just to the next level above what normal driving assist most cars have.
I felt it there. That was a good pickup.
Yeah, it's very electronically limited. So if I hit some pavement when I might have punched it earlier, if the pavement was a little wet, it is, you know, 15 degrees outside, you know, the car will immediately restrict the traction and restrict the power to ensure that we still have proper traction and we don't lose control accelerating on wet pavement. One thing I definitely notice, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the video, the regen is severely limited in this model. It doesn't have the same amount of regen that the Model Y has, but I definitely feel the lighter, you know, this car is a little bit lighter on its feet. I like that. I like the lighter, easier suspension just due to the less battery weight. I like the ride comfort that these tires provide, and it provides a little extra range, so.
Woo!
This test drive is coming to an end. We're almost back at the supercharger where we'll drop the car off. But it has been a great experience. We're really, really happy to have gotten to drive the new Model Y and Model 3 and be able to try to benchmark them on how the ID4, as well as other cars that we've driven, can compare to it, the Mach-E, for example. And really, at the end of the day, they all kind of have their own niche, right? If you are someone who's going to do frequent road trips, the Tesla really does win in that aspect, just with the simple route planning. Also, kind of the Volkswagen can win and the Hyundai can win at road trips with that free charging. That also saves a bunch of money too. But if you're just going to use it as an around town car, you're not going to benefit from that as much. But then some of the gimmicky stuff is, you know, cute. The fart on command and all that stuff. It's
fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know at what point it'll get old, but
it won't.
Christina has spoken. It will not get old. But now I think we'll get back to the supercharger, plug it in, and wrap up the video. Okay. So the best part of the Tesla, like I said, is the charging network. So you literally just take the plug, push this button right here. Maybe not. There we go. And plug it in, and it just starts charging. There's no sort of app to fidget with or anything like that. And we can go inside and see how it's charging right now. So since the battery is already at a high state of charge, it's only charging at 32 kilowatts right now, 145 miles an hour, but all the information's right there. I can touch the icon right here, so we have 79% or miles, you know, personal preference on that one. But yeah, pretty simple process. It's like I said, no apps or anything to fidget with. It just works. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked our content, please do like and subscribe. It really helps our channel out. Please comment below. Do you like the Model 3 more or the Model Y? What car is the better one for you? And take care until next time.